What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Demetria Obilor Show podcast. And everyone heard that new Drake yet? Okay, we got to talk a little bit about that, plus some really big fights on the horizon this week and early March. And I got to preview, give you my takes on all of that, as well as some questions about the NBA potentially doing a 1v1 challenge in the future. Just rumors, whispers, but definitely worth chatting about. And then, of course, All-Star, we feeling it, you know what's going on. We're going to kick things off with that, the state of All-Star weekend as far as the NBA. And as you've seen, a lot of fans left All-Star weekend kind of feeling anything from dissatisfied to just flat out saying worst All-Star game ever. And a lot of people took issue with the overhaul of the format. You know, in the past, like before 2018, it was the East and the West, real simple, right? And so now you got this mini tournament with 4 teams. I mean, one of which weren't even All-Stars, a point Draymond Green kept going off about. So the second year guys and rookies, they were kind of added to possibly light a flame under the actual All-Stars to get them amped to perform and make for an entertaining game, right? If it works, it works. But here's what Steph Curry had to say about the new format.
I think it was a good step in the right direction to reinvigorate the game in some way.
All right, and here's Jason Tatum's take on everything.
The format was cool. I think the toughest part, like they stopped the game to do the presentation. And it's whatever it was, it's kind of tough to get back into the game after that.
And so all of this, goes hand in hand with the critiques the NBA has been getting for some time now. I mean, the game is boring, fans are saying. Players aren't taking the game seriously. Where's the defense? Everybody's only shooting threes. I mean, the players you want to see aren't playing. I mean, although the new rest policy was put into effect to prevent that. But with this All-Star weekend, I mean, LeBron, he didn't participate because of a foot ankle issue. I mean, that's understandable, but still. And then Anthony Edwards from the Timberwolves, I mean, he never even got off the bench because of some groin soreness. So, it's part of it. It's part of it. And I think one of the biggest complaints, though, despite all of that, was the entertainment that surrounded the game, okay, and how not much basketball was actually being played. There's a stat that's been going around on Reddit, online, that only 42 minutes of actual basketball was played in the 3-hour-long All-Star game. Now look, okay, usually the All-Star games were at most an hour long, but I think because of how they split everything up, the segments, and how the games were divided in between musical performances and YouTube challenges, ads, tributes, I mean, it added to a pacing issue that really upset a lot of viewers and fans. And some people were even taking their anger out on Kevin Hart and all his in-court entertainment. I mean, so it's quite possible that next year we're going to see another overhaul of the format. But, I mean, something's got to be done because, I mean, aside from all of the pomp and circumstance, people really just want to see their all-stars playing and playing harder with that defense and believing the game actually matters and stands for something. On a side note, it seemed like a lot of people enjoyed some of the all-star content that I made. I was out there talking to some of the NBA moms at a mom's brunch honoring NBA moms and all of their philanthropic work alongside their sons. So I got to talk to Kevin Durant's mama.
But the one thing that people don't know about Kevin is that Kevin can clean a bathroom.
Jalen Brunson's mom, Tyrese Maxey's mom. You got to check it out. It's on my YouTube Shorts, Instagram, all of that good stuff. And I also have some other questions I asked too. I might have to post that in a separate video, but make sure you check that out once again across all of my platforms. Now, moms, with all the hype that video guy, they might be the answer here. Seriously, how can we get the moms involved? But also, a future one-on-one format in the NBA All-Star Game might be an interesting addition for 2026 in LA next year. We saw the women, okay, going 1v1 in the Unrivaled tournament, which is actually a 3v3 league founded by Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart in collaboration with the biggest stars in women's basketball. So founder Nafisa Collier, she actually won the entire tournament, beating out Aaliyah Edwards for the top spot. I mean, the tournament was chock full of WNBA talent. You had Skylar Diggins Smith there, Dearica Hamby, Rakia Jackson, Dejanay Carrington. They were all fun to watch. And I think the ladies have something there. And I really think if the NBA took a page out of that book, fans would absolutely tune in, okay? But would the players be interested in doing it? And that's the toss-up because, getting crossed up goes down in the history books forever, and ever, okay? So when your team is on the court, though, it doesn't look as crazy. I mean, imagine Allen Iverson stepping over at Tyronn Lue. I mean, and there was nobody else out there. I mean, that was already bad enough. But if it's just you, I mean, that's insane meme materials for life, okay? But people would absolutely tune in. I mean, think about SGA versus Kevin Durant or Shea versus Ja Morant. You know, I'm thinking SGA, he's smooth, he's got the methodical game versus Ja's explosiveness, his athleticism, or okay, you got LeBron and KD. That would never happen, but I feel like that'd be crazy. Two of the greatest scorers and all-around players. I mean, you got LeBron's strength, his playmaking, then you got KD's, you know, length, pure scoring ability, all of that. That would never happen, but it would be crazy. Could you imagine the viewership on that? Okay, Jalen Brunson versus Trae Young. I mean, for the big guys, maybe Joel Embiid versus Anthony Davis. Steph Curry versus Kyrie. Woo, the ultimate battle of handles and shooting. I mean, Kyrie's got the more complete, I feel like, finishing package, but Steph's range, quick release, I mean, that's a thriller. I mean, that's thriller. That's thriller, like MJ thriller, okay? I mean, even seeing the bench players and even the young players, the rookies, get them out there going 1v1. And that would absolutely draw more attention and put more pressure on the players to perform even better, okay? But like I said, the stakes might be too high for the NBA's biggest talents, but I think some guys would play crazy hard and the bragging rights are on the table. You probably got to throw in a little bit of money too, but I mean, 1v1, that lives on forever. Okay, I'm telling you, okay? Now, you guys got to let me know what would be some of your potential NBA 1v1 matchups you'd love to see. I want to hear from you in the comment section on YouTube, and I definitely want to hear from you what you think would make the All-Star game better, or if you loved it, okay? Because some people did, okay? Let me know in the comments. All right, now let's talk boxing for a bit, okay? Because you know I'm excited for the Beterbiev Bivol Part 2 coming up Saturday night for Riyadh season, and this one is huge. Okay, what we saw last October for me was the best fight of 2024, hands down, proper scrap. Beterbiev and Bivol were scheduled to tap gloves in June of 2024, you might remember, but it was Beterbiev. He ruptured his meniscus, had to have knee surgery, and then just 4 months after, turned around, got into the all-out brawl of the year. I mean, between two undefeated light heavyweight dominants. I mean, you've got Demetria Bivol, who was 22-0 at the time. Now he's 23-1. I mean, a lot of people know him for beating Canelo back in 2022. But I have to say, like I always say, I wasn't impressed with his showing. I mean, Canelo's definitely the smaller guy in that, and Bivol, you know, I wanted to see Canelo bruised up. I don't know. Maybe it's the rules. Maybe it's the scripts. I don't know. But it just was like, how are you this big, this division? It just didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, although I don't want to discredit Canelo because he has fought some serious light heavyweights as well, and obviously, I mean, he's one of the best fighters of all time. But Bivol showed much more vigor against Beterbiev. I mean, a guy that Canelo doesn't even want beef with. So I definitely had to put some more respect onto Bivol, but you remember everybody was telling me last year, oh, Bivol's gonna win, you don't know what you're talking about, you know, so I had to pull out the Tiger Woods video of everybody, all the doubters, and all the nasty comments people were sending to me. I had fun doing it. I made it really quick on the fly on Premiere, and I was like, yeah, you know, I was right though. Okay, so anyway, Beterbiev, up until meeting Bivol, though, he had 20 fights, 20 knockouts, okay? I mean, he's knocked out some of the craziest light heavyweights of all time. He's a guy who, I mean, he doesn't run from anything, and you got to respect it, and you kind of got to be afraid of it, okay? When I first saw him fight Marcus Brown in 2021, how that fight went, and seeing how Brown got Beterbiev all bloodied up, all of this, you know, just for Beterbiev to eventually force the guy to just get down, stay down. Like, bro, don't even get back up. He was like, he took a knee. He could have kept fighting, but Marcus Brown's like, no, I'm good. I had enough work. Okay, and that's what Arthur's like. It's like you get him angry, he keeps getting angry. He reminds me of the Hulk. It's like, oh, it just keeps getting more vicious out there. And that's just a different beast. I mean, and he's done that with everyone. And it doesn't matter how tough you think your guy is. Beterbiev has just been the tougher guy. But the jury was out against his last bout with Bivol. And so it went to the judges, right? I mean, the fans weren't even all that convinced that he'd won. Even Arthur had said, like, that wasn't convincing enough for me. You know, I won, but it didn't feel like a win for me. I felt like it could have been a toss-up as well. I mean, this was a well-fought fight. Bivol did a great job countering. I mean, he looked great on his feet, and honestly, Beterbiev didn't look as good as I've seen him in the past. And some are going to say, well, duh, he's 40 years old now. But for me, I think it really had more to do with having to recover quickly, maybe take some time out of training to get that knee all better, okay? So, I mean, you know, I got to respect how fast he got back in the game there and still pulled off the dub. And all that to say, I have Beterbiev winning this match, okay? Now, the only way Bivol wins is if he knocks Beterbiev out. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Arthur is going to make this feel a lot more decisive. He's going to give the fans what they really want, so it really truly feels undisputed, although it already is to him, okay? And that's what I appreciate about him, his character, his drive, and I mean, there's just honor to it, and saying, you know what, I didn't like how that one felt. Yeah, I got the dub, but guess what? I'm going to go out there, turn it up 10 notches, and I'm going to show you guys this is not even up for debate, and I like that. That's the kind of boxing I like to watch. I mean, these guys are really just two Russian oxen going head to head. I mean, both fighters worthy of all the respect and accolades. But like I said, I've got Arthur Beterbiev winning. It's going to be a stoppage. That's all she wrote. Okay, let me know your fight prediction in the comments. And another fight that's on the horizon that fans should be gearing up for, okay, on the UFC side of things, and I'll be at this one. UFC 313 kicks off in a couple weeks, March 8th. Talking Vegas, Alex Pereira defending his light heavyweight title against Magomed Ankalaev. Oh my gosh. So off the top, all right, you're looking at this fight, all right? You see a clash of styles. You got Pereira, okay? Fearsome striker, Chama, okay? Then you got Ankalaev, a combo grappler. And looking at the styles, I mean, it wouldn't necessarily favor Pereira. But what does that mean to Pereira, okay? Do you like how I say Pereira? I've been working on how I say his name. Pereira, striker, and Ankalaev, a combo grappler. I mean, looking at the styles, okay, it wouldn't favor Pereira, but Pereira is to be feared. He's a stone wall, and you don't want to walk into one of those, okay? Nothing but respect for Khalil Roundtree, but his face is the latest testimonial for why everyone should be afraid of Alex Pereira. Most people should be afraid of Pereira. I mean, the world should be afraid of Pereira, okay? Except for a few fighters. I mean, John Jones shouldn't be. I don't know if Aspinall should be, but I would say that Ankalaev definitely isn't, and it's that Russian stuff, you know, like most Russian fighters in the UFC. I feel like they fear nothing. I mean, we should probably be afraid of him. I mean, Ankalaev's record is 20 wins, 1 loss, 1 no contest. Pereira has 12 wins, 2 losses. I mean, this is a clash of styles, like I said before. Onk's grappling is better, and as we all know, Pereira isn't really known for having a real ground game, but I look at other fighters that got up into the bigger divisions. If you think about Francis Ngannou, I mean, he didn't have a great grappling game, but when he finally had some takedown defense, I mean, that strength, and, you know, he's just gonna beat you. He's gonna beat you up. And that's what he did, okay? So I see that kind of with Pereira, especially he's getting more skill. He's had more time to kind of bake and set in everything, you know, get some more training. He's gonna kill you while you're standing on 2 feet, and that's where he's deadly. Now, I don't think anyone wants to go toe-to-toe with Pereira, so I'm imagining Ankh to come in. He's gonna, you know, do the grappling, but if Pereira, like I said, like Francis learned, I mean, if you can manage a decent amount of takedown defense, I feel like Pereira wins this bout. I really do. I mean, although, you know, he's drawn some critics. I'm sure you've seen the articles, you know, of course. Daniel Cormier, former light heavyweight champion, you know, he's been commenting on Pereira's out-of-the-ring activities, like being down in Australia, going to the Drake concert, and apparently Ankh is just totally zoned in, at least assumed to be. And if Ankalaev can dominate the ground game, keep distance from Pereira's striking power, I mean, I think he could win that match as well, but I still have Pereira doing it. I just think that he's on this juggernaut route right now, and he's going to keep going until somebody forces him to stop. If he runs into John Jones, I think that's another wall. Okay, that's another wall you don't want to run into. But anyway, let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments. I mean, strategy is going to be key in this fight of styles. All right, guys, now we got to talk about some music for my music fans, okay? Last but not least, have you heard the new Drake? Okay, yeah, the album with P&D, Party Next Door. It's called Some Sexy Songs for You. I mean, there are definitely some hits on the album, some dope beats, cool album cover, really awesome vibes. I mean, he gave us some rap game, Drake did, on the track Give Me a Hug. In the album, he also featured some artists named Pimmy, which I feel like I always appreciate for bringing new artists out on the scene, at least ones that I've never heard of. Nokia, giving some real dance vibes there. I like the feel of that. I feel like that's just going to keep living on. And I like that in the way because it kind of reminds me of Views. It's like you gave us some dance beats, you gave us some reflection, you gave us some heartbreak. You know, I kind of like gave us some rap there, and Views is one of my favorite Drake albums of all time. So I don't know, kind of gives me that. I'm not going to say it's as good as Views, but it's I know that as I listen to it, I'm going to love it even more and more and more. Now, the album title, it's absolutely unserious. I mean, but, you know, maybe that's how he kind of transitions out of all the negative attention he's been getting with the lawsuits after losing the rap battle to Kendrick Lamar. Maybe it's like, hey, I don't even have to try that hard. And I like that. I wish he would have started with that. Just like give us the music, keep being who you are. And what we love about Drake is he can always give you a new sound. Okay, at least that's one of the reasons I'm a fan of Drake. He's going to take a risk. I mean, he's going to risk the criticism of it all. And you know, he's an artist, so they're sensitive about their ish, right? And with a lot of artists, they're afraid to crash and burn, and I gotta put some respect on Drake's name. on the head top, all of this stuff, because he'll do that for us. And I definitely still appreciate him for that. And Drake definitely doesn't need a feature on every single track. As I was going through, I was hoping that it wasn't going to be P&D and Drake on every single track, because I like P&D, but it's like some of the auto-tune, sometimes y'all be taking it way too far, and it's just kind of like, okay, I get it. But P&D, very talented, not taking anything away from him, but I just appreciate, mixing it up a little bit. And like I said, I feel like this is how Drake is going to maneuver from the L he got from Kendrick, and we just have to call it that. And the thing is I've been in dispute with people before about these kinds of things. I don't think that Drake lost the battle to Pusha T. Pusha T had the big reveal, but I feel like bar for bar, I really appreciated Drake's lyrics a lot more, but I can respect Pusha T. I grew up listening to Pusha T and clips and all of that, but I just feel like in this situation, Drake let Kendrick out jingle him. Kendrick's lyrics are amazing. Drake had great lyrics as well, but when you got that DJ Mustard beat and you're going crazy like that, Not Like Us is a hit, and that's what Young Money was all about, right? That's what they always would brag about. We don't make diss records, we make hit records, and Kendrick had the bigger hit, simple as that. So then Drake came back with The Heart, Part 6. The damage was already done, though. Lyrics are great, but the track was way too long. And, he did too much explaining at the end, and, this is like Gladiator, the movie. It's like, are you entertained? You just got to keep the people entertained. People are simple. Give us a great beat, some hard hooks, some real disses right there, and, it's gonna catch on the radio, and then that's when you're like, okay. So anyway, what I like about Kendrick, though, very artistic and soulful. He can give you a dope beat with a deeper meaning, right? His lyrics, as I talked about last episode, triple entendre, quadruple entendre. Kendrick's your guy for some good metaphorical rap, and I'm not taking anything away from Drake's talent, but if you're looking for that deeper cultural, societal context in your music, I would say poetry. That's something that Kendrick does amazingly. It's something that Tupac mastered, Lauryn Hill, Public Enemy, KRS-One, and that's just not what Drake does, and that was also highlighted in this battle. So, even though Drake didn't win, I'm okay with what Drake brings to the table. I still appreciate his music. I appreciate his talent, and so, I know that's causing a lot of, controversy online, keeping that debate still broiling. So tell me what you guys think in the comments. Are you digging Drake's new album? Like, what do you think? I love it. I feel like sports, music go hand in hand. This is a sports entertainment podcast now. So yeah, let me know, guys. And check out my last episode 35, because I gave my whole background on how much of a Kendrick Lamar fan that I've been. Because I know a lot of people are just going to be dying to say, oh, bandwagon this, bandwagon that, all of this stuff. People were calling me a bandwagon fan, even though I'm from Kansas City. Like, it was so crazy. I was like, I'm born in Kansas City. My birth certificate says Missouri. Okay. Like, I have a street sign that I ripped down from my street when we moved from Kansas City to Vegas. Well, actually, my first boyfriend did it for me. I was like, please, I need that sign just to remember. So it's that deep in me. But anyway, that's our show. Talk to me in the comments section. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to hear your thoughts, your takes on this week's episode. And be sure to rate and review the podcast wherever you're listening. I really appreciate that feedback and support. And I hope all of you have a great rest of your week.